What do you want me to hit? Yep. Okay. What do we got? Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's okay. That's totally fine. Okay, roll call.
Yes. Mr. Sheskowski?
Here.
Mr. Crockett?
I'm here.
Ms. Carbano? Here. Mr. Fortier?
Here.
Thank you.
Mr. Wiltshire has a excused absence.
Okay, next item, approval of minutes. I take it everybody's had a chance to read this. I think at this point we would need a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I move the minutes be approved as read.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Do you need a vote, ma'am?
We need a second.
Yes, it was seconded.
I didn't hear who seconded it, and I don't know who made the motion.
I'm seconding it, Jean Carbano.
Okay, and who made the motion?
You made the motion, sir. Just tell her your name.
Second?
Yeah, you made the motion. Could you just say your name in the microphone?
Oh, my name is Crockett.
Mr. Crockett.
Mr. Crockett. Yeah, I can't
Okay.
see his thing. Sorry about that. I can't see his name thing. Okay,
Thank you.
do you need a roll call? Do you need a...
No,
Okay.
no voice vote.
Fair enough. Okay, announcements. We do have introduced a new board member. Sir, do you want to go ahead and just say your name and maybe just a couple of things about you? That way I don't,
Hi,
pronounce your name.
my name is Nick Sheskowski.
Okay.
I've been living here in Sebastian for 14 years. Been in Florida for 18. Prior to that, I was an electrical contractor in New Jersey since 1976. And that's about it.
Very good.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
And again, I apologize for being confused with the date here today.
I actually did too. I thought it was, because typically it's Tuesday, so I had to call because I was confused as well. So the next thing we have is old business. I see none. Moving on to new business, and I think that's probably why we're here. Wayne, you might want to go ahead and take this at this point.
Sure.
We've all read it, but go ahead.
Yes. Introduce the next matter. It's Mr. Robert Fitzgerald. His City of Sebastian certificate of competency is number 1407. From the Department of Business Professional Regulations number is ER 0015375. Mr. Fitzgerald is seeking board approval to reinstate his license that expired on 4/5/2007 without having to reapply and retake the exam. The applicable code sections from the City Code of Ordinances is section 26168C. The certificate, which is inoperative because of failure to renew, shall be restored on payment of the proper renewal fee. If the application for restoration is not made before the beginning of the new fiscal year of the city, the fee for restoration shall be double the original renewal fee, and in addition, the board may require a re-examination of the applicant. A certificate which is not renewed within 3 full years after expiration may not be renewed, restored, or reinstated thereafter except by reapplication and re-examination. So we're here tonight. Mr. Fitzgerald is asking for the board approval to reinstate his license without having to retake the exam. And that'll be based on the evidence that's presented in your packets and whatever evidence that he presents here tonight.
Excuse me, Wayne.
Yes.
His license actually expired on 8/31 of '08. The number that they've got here is 07. That was
You're right.
his insurance expired then.
Yes, you're correct. I am sorry about
Yeah,
that.
they've got it at April.
I did make an error there.
7th.
Yes, 8/31 of '08 is when
08, yes.
Yes,
That's
that's
what it
correct. Thank
said.
you for pointing that out.
I do have a question. when you're
Yes.
ready. I'm just curious because section 26-168, if you look at the last, of what you just read basically, if you look at the last part of that section, I'm not seeing where we have autonomy to go ahead and do anything. It's pretty clear.
I realize that's what it said. That's the reason why we're here. You are the construction board. The construction board is the board that originally approved folks to be able to take these exams. So that being said, a lot of times these renewals were forgotten by contractors. Maybe we didn't make it clear enough to them. I don't know. You know, they just went out of business and just didn't keep their license up. Maybe they didn't think they had to. You know, there is a method for paying $10 a year and just keeping on inactive status, but that probably wasn't widely known. So there's circumstances that we've done this in the past. We've had a number of these come to the board, and a lot of times, you know, the evidence that they present shows that they are active in construction, that maybe they weren't using this license, but they were actively working in construction, and I don't know as though it makes them any less of a contractor, and that's for the board to decide. But that's the reason why we're here. I guess it's more of an appeal process, I think. Even though the code doesn't really specifically spell that out, I think we're on good ground in letting the board decide whether they want to reinstate them or not.
So our goal then is to ascertain from, I take it what this gentleman's going to talk about as well as what's been presented.
Right.
It's that he has continued to stay in the construction business and to basically kind of interpret 26-168 a different way, if that's what you're saying.
Yes, I think that's a good way to put it. And you know, does he still deserve to have that certificate of competency as if he were the day he qualified to take the exam?
Okay.
You know, that's kind of what I think you're trying to determine.
If I could ask also, okay, let's just say, and I'm just talking hypothetically, let's just say that we did want reapplication and retesting. Can you describe briefly? I mean, I don't want to hold everybody out. What does that entail?
Well, at this point, the city of Sebastian, for quite a while now, probably close to 10 years, does not sponsor anymore for the local license. And remember, this is different than a state license. In this particular instance, because he's an electrical contractor, he had to state register his license. Certain licenses have to be registered with the state, which is different than being certified. And what that is, it's a local license. It's the class 1 type licenses, your GCs, electrical, you know, mechanical, plumbing, the major ones that have to be registered with the state. However, they got their license at the local level, and that license is only good for this municipality, although all other municipalities, we reciprocate licenses because it's the same requirements there as it is here. You can do letters of reciprocity. So what it involves is, even though we don't do it anymore, but he would have to apply to, say, Brevard County or St. Lucie County or City Port St. Lucie, a number of places that still do it. He would have to go before the board. They look at his qualifications and say, yes, we approve you to sit for the exam. So then he would have to go to it used to be called Block and Associates, I think it's Proctor now, where they would have to go take the exam. It consists of laws and rules plus the category they're seeking, whether it's electrical or plumbing or whatever it is. So it's a practical exam along with laws and rules. So like this gentleman was approved back in, I'm not sure the exact date when he was approved, sometime before '08, I think it was a few years before that, by a board that's out here in the city of Sebastian. He took the exam, he passed. We then gave him a certificate of competency. So he had his license for a few years, and then he let it lapse.
Does for that particular type of the competency license, does he have to do continuing ed, or would anybody else have to do it?
No, on the local levels, you don't have to do the continuing education like you do at the state.
Even though
Although I think I mean, you might know. I don't know, registered contractors may have to.
Yeah, he
I think
was-
to be registered, I think you still have
Yeah.
to have continuing education. But the state has, as you know, continuing education credits every 2 years, and that's not in our code.
Okay. Okay, does the gentleman want to speak?
Yes, he's here in the audience, if you want to bring him up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then you guys can discuss.
Do you want to come up, sir? I don't know how far, they're going to let you there, I
Yeah,
think.
right there.
Yeah, okay, I'll put take my mask on.
Hello, everybody.
Well, sir, I just, real quickly, for me, if you could just, I see the history of what you've been working on. I'm curious as to why, considering 26-168, why that you think that reapplication and reexamination isn't necessary, for me.
Well, it's all because of the state. The state, I've done everything for the state. Everything they asked me to send in my expired comp card for reinstatement. I did that. I paid all the fines, fees for being past dated. I am required to do continuing education, and I've provided them with continuing education, and there will be additional continuing education as soon as I, present them with a valid comp card. It's not a matter of if I'm competent or not. They know that I've been running an electrical company as a manager, as scheduling, billing, bidding. Same thing I did when I owned my own business. I went through a divorce. I kind of was burnt out on it, and I took the easy road and went back to work for somebody. I didn't think that, things were going to change the way they did with the economy and everything. And my boss decided he was going to shut down the new construction part of his business, and it would have put me in a commercial, and I had another opportunity to go with another former employee of his with, his consent to go ahead and better myself. Well, that particular company, I don't see good things coming out of. So I got out before I got in the middle of the reputation thing. I've never had a bad reputation of doing bad business, and don't want to start now.
Sir, you had a question?
Yeah. First of all, would you step a little close to the mic there so I have a little hearing difficulty, which
Yes, sir.
means I can't hear. I understood you to say that you have kept up with your continuing education.
I have supplied them with 14 hours. They are going to let me know if that's suffice for when they finish.
Okay.
The-
And you've
the
kept up
paperwork.
with the
That's the
NEC,
state. What's that?
National Electric Code?
Oh, yeah, because I ran a crew of electricians, so I had to keep up on.
How long did you work
Current
for
code.
Complete Electric?
He was the first and last person I ever worked for, and recently it's been about 8 years. I just left last year, and this other company's just
Yeah,
spiraled quick.
you've got a very good letter of recommendation from National Electric, from Complete Electric, which speaks highly for you. That's all the question I have.
Yeah, I mean, in my, did you have something, ma'am?
I do have a
Absolutely.
question.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the fines. Now, those were just paid recently, is that what you're saying?
Yes, the fines,
Probably August?
I've been trying to, this has been like a year-long
'Cause there's
paperwork process.
no dates on any of it, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and also on, I don't know, are you looking at the online payment summary?
Because I got dates on your insurance, I got dates on your workers' comp, I got dates on your,
Are you looking at the online
on your
payment summary?
exemption ID. You
Yes,
did it
that-
online, what was the date? August?
This,
You don't know when you did it?
I don't-
Okay.
Yeah,
I
there are
don't
no
see a
dates.
date. It was,
This year?
yes, it was this year.
Shows it's
And it
paid.
was, just back and forth paperwork, back and forth, back and
Right,
forth,
I
back and forth.
understand that.
Before because originally it was a different fine. It was a $515 fee, application fee, sent that in. When it come back, so all these payments weren't at the same time.
I used to work for a registered electrician, then he went and got his state license.
Yeah, I had 2 opportunities to be grandfathered in while I was licensed, and
That's what he did.
I didn't feel that I ever needed it.
He got
you know.
grandfathered in, and that was the best thing that happened. We weren't having to license in every county.
Yeah, you don't have to pay
Yeah,
every
that's-
county, and
Well, it's okay if you're doing enough work there to make the money. So,
Wayne, is the city looking for any money from this gentleman?
Yeah, if we were to approve him based on the information we have here, how much would it cost him to renew his license?
The way our code is written, it's $75 per year for every year that was not paid. And we're looking at from 2009 to 2019 would be 11 years. At $75 is $825, and then the current year is $36. So for him to be good till August of 2021, it would be $861.
$61.
Okay. If we were to approve this, would you be in a position to take care of that problem?
yes, sir.
I have a question again about your continuing ed. You're saying you have 18 hours of continuing ed for 12 years, or?
No, I have 14 hours because they'll only let you can only buy a course at a time. And now it's going to be back on the state to tell me if they want more, if they require more. So this, from here on
Well, I would think you
out,
would have to be required to have the same as anybody else who was a master that's being
yeah,
reinstated for
it's
12 years.
Well, it's the same. It's every 2 years
Right.
is what you have to do.
I think what it is because I know somebody that went through this exact process. It's 14 years basically to get you into the conversation as far as the state. You need to do or 14 hours. You need to do the 14 hours of continuing ed, and then they'll decide if you have to do more. However, I don't know if they've ever made somebody do for every 2 years 14 hours. I've never.
And they very well could say, when I provide them with a valid comp card, say, not approved, we're not going to reinstate you without testing. So it doesn't end here. It's been a battle.
That. I realize that.
When I got licensed originally, Kathy Nappy was here, and
Right.
I couldn't get a work comp exemption without having my comp card. Well, I couldn't get a comp card without having my
Workers'
state
comp, right.
and my work comp exemption. So she had to issue me a license valid for a week to drive to West Palm to get my exemption, to come back to finalize getting my license.
Right.
It's not easy. I know.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, it's a little bit different now.
Yeah, it's harder. The
with online,
further
so-
the calendar moves, the harder
Now all
it
you
is.
need is money.
Any more discussion?
Not for me.
The only question I have is, when we're speaking of fines here, what are these fines based upon? For not renewing his license?
Well, for not renewing, and then it's not fair to the city that he didn't renew his license and he didn't have to pay, and the other contractors did. So it's typical that if we are going to say yes, that we would go for the rears. Not so much on continuing education, but the city should have got their money for all those years. Fair is fair, and that would be the $861. So if everybody's in agreement, then somebody would make a motion that we go ahead, if everybody's in agreement. I'm not speaking for everyone, but if everybody's in agreement, somebody would make a motion saying that we would be okay with this gentleman getting his competency card, providing that he provides the city with the $861 that's owed.
Okay.
And somebody would have to make that.
Are you ready for a motion?
Absolutely.
I'd like to move that we approve his application for his license, and that he would have to pay whatever the arrears are based on what Mr. Esseltine has quoted.
Yeah, $861. Second from anybody?
I'll second it.
Call the vote.
Mr. Siskowski.
Approve.
Mr. Crockett.
Yes.
Ms. Carvano.
No.
And Mr. Fortier.
Yes.
3-1 passes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time. We appreciate that. Okay, next thing is building official matters, building department update. Wayne?
Just wanted to give him a little
That's fine.
instruction. Under building official matters, I'd just like to take an opportunity to quickly inform the board and the community the steps that are taken by City of Sebastian Building Department as well as many other similar building departments around the state.
I can't quite hear.
Okay. Is this better? Yeah. Okay. To overcome the challenges in this past year and to continue to provide quality service to the community, just kind of wanted to highlight some of the things we did just for you and all the community as well. So as we all know, 2020 was a very interesting year with the pandemic. It's affected all of us in many ways. So early on, City Hall was closed to the public, and so we had to react quickly to figure out how we're going to maintain the same level of service and to service to the community. So construction and construction sites at the time were considered essential and still are, and therefore building permits and inspections had to continue. So with the building department being closed, we had to do some things to overcome these challenges. We did it in several ways. The first thing we did is created a drop box, and we kept that at the front door. This allowed document exchange and provided a way for to be able to make payments in a locked deposit box for still making payments by check. We created a email address for permits at cityofsebastian.org, and that was for smaller types of projects that could easily be scanned and emailed for processing, and any other documents. Some might go with a permit. And then we newly installed the computer system in 2019, and that has proven very timely and very valuable tool. So scanned documents that can easily be added to the permitting process and uploaded into the system. There's email notifications to the customer, which keeps them informed of their permitting progress. The online fee payments are easily made through the system, and the building permits, once they're approved, they can be issued through email, along with the accompanying documents. So that has greatly improved our system, being able to keep people informed, keep things moving. So even the documents that are required after the permit's issued, like for certificate of occupancy, they can be uploaded directly to the permit. So all of these things were designed to eliminate wasted trips to the building department. And you know, just conveniently so with the COVID and everything else, and being closed, it was really timely. So the other thing we did was a video inspection process, and that was created for types of inspections that require inspectors to go inside the home or place of business, which we didn't want to do at that time. So things like air conditioning replacements, plumbing repairs, electrical service changes, window and door type permits. these types of things. We created a protocol and samples of video inspections that we put out on our website for the contractors to view and to learn how to do it. So the video inspection process originally has been around for a few years now, been talked about, originated as a convenience to the contractor and the customer to eliminate the need for the customer to take an extra day off from work so that they can have an inspection done. The state had approved the video inspection process as a replacement to a live inspection. These videos, after they're done, it typically occurs right after the work is finished. The contractor will take the video, follow the steps we laid out for them. We don't invade anybody's privacy when they're not at the equipment or an electrical panel or something. They have to point the camera at the floor. We're not videotaping anybody's house or anything like that. And if it showed up that way, we would reject it. So these videos, again, they occur right after the work's completed, and then they're uploaded to our system where the inspector can literally sit from the office and safely review these for inspection. If he sees everything he needs to see, he approves it. And that inspection also becomes part of our permanent record. So that worked out really well in those situations where we didn't want to go in, they didn't want us to have to be in there, and we were able to keep things moving. So these are just a few things that we did over this past year. We'll continue to look for new and better ways to improve our system to adapt to our new work environment and meet the challenges ahead. So I just kind of wanted to give everyone a quick update as to what's going on in the building department.
Very good.
Thank you.
Questions, anyone? Okay, moving on. Attorney matters, it looks like there are none. 15 minutes to the public, there is none. However, because what Wayne was talking about with 2020, what we're dealing with, question would be Zoom. Any questions?
There are no one on Zoom right now.
There are none?
No.
Okay, so seeing that there's none, motion to adjourn?
Mr. Fortier, excuse me, this is Janet, the secretary.
Mm-hmm, yes, ma'am.
You skipped board matters. Did you want to cover that?
Well, there's nothing, nobody had anything to say. There's nothing there.
Okay, I just wanted to have that on the record. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. For the record, for the minutes, there's nothing under board matters, and nor did anybody have anything to say. So, a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
The meeting is adjourned.